There was times that I was literally had zero money in my account, eating pot noodles, literally hot dogs from the tin. So I had nights like that where I was just waiting for deals to progress.
And you 5x'd your income. So from around 4,000 a month to 20,000 a month. Yeah, so hey, we're back for another episode, Real Life Transformational Tuesday. Now, this one is a super special one. Why? Because this transformation has happened in a very short space of time. So, Aydin, you've actually been with us now and you started training with us for the last 7 months, right?
Yeah, correct. So I joined Real Life in February, and then our course formally started in, I think it was April.
So yeah, so I want to get into that. Yeah, I want to get into that. So in 7 months, you already had a few properties, right? Anyway, that you built up over. How long did it take you to build all that up before?
So yeah, I came in with 5 properties, and that took about 3 years to get.
Yeah,
So 3 years, 5 properties, and they were all buy-to-lets.
yeah. So buy to lets for 3 years. So in the 7 months, you've 2x'd your deals. So now you're up to 10. You 3x the value from just over 1 million to now 3 million portfolio, and you 5x'd your income. So from around 4,000 a month to 20,000 a month.
Yeah,
What a
correct.
whirlwind of a 7 months. Tell me, what has been the strategy you've been using, first of all? Tell us about that and why that's the one that you like.
So the key strategy is luxury serviced accommodation. So some of the areas that we're in is sort of the Cotswold, Gloucester, York was one that we were getting into, and now Lake District is the next one. And there's places out there that that you can charge 350, 450 a night.
Yeah, good. So service accommodation, luxury, high-end stuff, really good. What has been some of the challenges? Just tell us about some of the things that you've been through. And I know some of it's been real tough. So yeah, what can you share about that and the transformation that's enabled you to keep moving forward and produce these kind of results?
Yeah, so when I went to your first 2-day event in, I think it was in Leicester or Loughborough, one of the key things that you mentioned was the importance of execution, just to execute on these deals. So you can do all the learning, you know all the numbers, you can learn all of that, but you have to do it. And that was one of the things that was just in my head is execute, execute, execute. And it's scary, right? Like you've got 10 grand in your account to just then suddenly invest it into something. There was times that I was borrowing money from a friend. I literally had zero money in my account, eating pot noodles, just literally hot dogs from the tin. So I had nights like that where I was just waiting for deals to progress and evolve.
Wow, that is crazy. You know,
Yeah.
people they hear the stories of Jeff Bezos in his garage or Steve Jobs or whatever in his garage, and here's Aydin from Liverpool, yeah, eating pot noodles and hot dogs out of the tin. But look, when you put the time in, and I know this is like we're talking about 7 months here. Well, what's going to happen in 7 years? That's going to be interesting. So how did you keep yourself going, and how did you convince yourself that you're still doing the right thing?
Yeah, so it was all about investing. So I had a portfolio of buy-to-lets that 3 of them were doubling in mortgage costs due to the interest rate rise. So I almost hit a crisis. If I don't react and if I don't invest to make up the difference of the extra mortgage cost, I'm going to sink and my business is going to be over because I won't be able to pay off the mortgages. I won't have. So it was almost a fight or flight response and almost an existential threat to me. And anytime money came in, I just reinvested it in deals. Deals. I purchased the property as well. And I was always just thinking, okay, how can I leverage my assets? So, we're selling one, released equity in one. I've been spending money on a refurb. But I just trusted the process of the basic fundamental that assets appreciate in value. And if the return on your investment is more than the debt that you pay back per month, it can't fail because just that basic rule has to succeed, right? And it's been tough to see that, especially sort of maxed out credit cards. I was forced into raising money. Never had any experience with investors before. It was in a desperation mode, posted something on Facebook, 30% return, eight-week payback, who's in? And then I got like sort of 5-6 people messaged saying, I raised about 40,000 really 15 minutes. And then we went with free investors in the end.
Oh. So here's the thing, some people, they might not want to put themselves in that much uncertainty or uncomfortable position. But then where people don't act in life, they get fired, they get made redundant, the company goes bust, or like whatever happens, and then they start acting out of desperation, but now it's not on their choice. What is it that went off in your mind that's just said, because I know obviously you still have a good career that you've built up as well. Like, what is it that went off in your mind that said, no, like, I'm going to do this, I want to do this, and I'm going to do this?
So I think for me, freedom is a massive thing. So I come from a project management background, very fast paced, very high energy, 10-hour days for the most part. And I'm 38, so it's kind of that age thing as well of, do I really want to be doing this 10-hour days, just working, I'd rather do that for my own thing. I'd rather, if I'm working 10 hours a day, I'd rather do it on my own business, my own projects that I know are paying considerably more than a normal salary would do. And I just enjoy it more.
One of the interesting things about business is, like, it does get this whole connotation of like, oh, it's tough, 24/7, da 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 da. I think what it comes down to is like, okay, there's a fire, but what do you do on the fire? Do you run away from it? Do you panic and jump and shout and like start throwing stuff on it, trying to piss on the fire to put it out? Or do you actually have a team around you and get dancing around the fire? But some people's fire is that they go to work 9 to 5 or whatever, 8 to 6, whatever it is, and they go to work every day. They come home, they sit their ass on the sofa, they watch some TV, they go to sleep, they wake back up, and they keep doing the same thing over and over again. And some people do that for 40 freaking years.
Yeah,
that's someone's fire. Question is, what is it that's enabled you to make sense of it all and say, yes, I want to keep doing it. Yes, I want to go big. I know you've been to a few programs we've done now. You just finished the 4-day Probably Wealth Turbo, took it to another level, right? Yeah. So what's the things that's enabled you to, keep going, gonna want to go get more deals, keep reinvesting? Like, what is it? You seeing some kind of light at the end of the tunnel? Like,
when I always feel like with property, the first deal is the hardest deal, because you almost escape the matrix almost when you get that first deal. And even that first deal might only pay you 300 quid a month. It's like, wow, okay, well, that's 300 quid. I haven't really even done much to get it. It's addictive. And I'm starting to get really addicted to the rush of investing and getting these projects off the ground. And one of the key things that I'm very strict on is just working with the best people. I want to work with people who are excelling in their game, the best builders, the best solicitors, the best managers, the best people. And they, oddly enough, they inspire me to bring the best out of me, and it gives me a sense of fulfillment when I'm working with people, bringing their A game to the table.
I mean, you said already talked about you raised 40,000, in that one kind of thing that you did there. Like, have you been using, what creative strategies have you been using to raise money to buy these? Because you're doing buy to service accommodation, which means you're going to get all the benefits of the capital allowances, the tax efficiencies, which obviously, we're helping you with. But like, what are the other ways, and how much other money have you raised to help keep funding this portfolio?
So I joined, as you know, I was on PWT, 4-day course, and I raised 120,000 on that session on the last day. You just got to keep it really simple. Investors love money. That's the currency that, and numbers resonate with investors. So I just put a very simple post out: JV opportunity available for our next deal, 30,000 in. Message me if you're interested. And then I had like 4 or 5 people message me and want more details. I've had to turn people away. People have said, I've got 30,000. Let's do something with it. So now I've got multiple different people who want to sort of work with me. And I think that's one of the key things, just working with the right people. It's inspiring to me that people would want to work with me as well. And that's cool. That makes me want to bring my A game as well. And I don't want to disappoint the people I work with.
Yeah, brilliant. So this is what you're doing. So like, what if there's people out there? What's your message to them, Aydin? Like people out there, they're probably, cool in their job, or maybe they're either, looking for some inspiration, or maybe they are in desperation. Like, what's your message to the people out there?
Yeah, you have to take action. You can learn around the right people. That's going to be a perfect safety net for you, because with the right support and training, it's going to be very difficult for you to fail completely. Because you can climb a mountain and people can help you get over certain bits and ropes, but there's going to be some bits of that mountain climb that you actually have to do yourself. Otherwise, you will fall.
Nice, very good. Well, thanks for coming on here. Been super inspirational. Anybody watching, you want to know more, put things in the comments, ask questions, but also subscribe to this channel. More inspirational stuff coming from the Transformational Tuesday episodes. As you know, Aydin, we have a saying in our community: you got to do the right thing for the right reason. Now, why is that?
You got to do the right thing for the right reason, because that brings real life results.
Beautiful. There we go, team. You heard it here. Make sure you follow, subscribe, follow us on every channel out there, because we got more information coming to you every single day. So do the right thing for the right reason, because that is the only way you discover your true potential.